Hello everyone, welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for geography. As you all know that every Friday I'm doing sessions on previous year questions topic wise where UPSC has asked questions out of geography for the last 25 years. Say today is the session of geomorphology where I'll be discussing about all the questions asked in geomorphology in the last 25 years. I have done the series with climatology, with oceanography. You can check in the playlist, right? So without much wastage of time, let us start the questions asked on geomorphology on the previous year questions. You all know the importance of that, right? You'll get to know the template of where UPSC will be asking, or in other words, you'll also see that there would be a brief coverage of all the previous year questions at one place. So let's start. The first part of the questions, you will see that most of them are point of view of solar system. So you would see the questions are asked from the point of view of solar system. Let's start this. So try to answer this. It's a very simple question. This indicates that you cannot miss such kind of questions whenever they ask. Try to answer this. What is a meteor? A meteor is it a rapidly moving star? Definitely not. It is a piece of matter which has entered the Earth's atmosphere from the outer space. Is it a comet without a tail? Is it part of a constellation? What is that? The answer is B. Meteor is a piece of matter which has entered into the Earth's atmosphere from outer space. What do you call them in our atmosphere? We call them as shooting stars. What do you call them? Shooting stars, right? Then move forward to the next topic. See, what more they can ask you. Understand the difference between all the three. What is this? Meteorite. Meteorite is the one which hits the Earth's surface. Can you name the place where it hits the Earth's surface? There was a meteorite which struck in India. Can you name a place? It's the Lunar Lake in India. So there are rocky body parts in our outer space. Those rocky body parts are called as meteoroids, and also we have another one called asteroids. That is the different. We'll understand the difference between meteoroid and asteroid further. So a rocky body part which is part of the Earth's surface is called meteoroid. Its outer space is meteoroid. When it enters the atmosphere of the Earth, we are calling it as meteor, which you call it as shooting stars. And when it hits the Earth's surface, we'll call it as meteorite. Right. So this is the basic idea of meteoroids. So let's move forward. Now try to answer this question. I think this is a very easy question. What are these? Yes, this is the belt of asteroids. The group of small pieces of rock revolving around the sun between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter are called as asteroids. Now try to understand all these things. Yes, Sachin, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Evening ke liye samay hai bhai, right? So let's wait for the time. So it's good afternoon. How are you doing? So let's discuss this question. Then we can have a conversation. Yes, Shivani. So the group of small pieces of rock revolving around the sun between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter are called as asteroids. Yes. Now answer this, then we'll try to explain all these words again. So consider the following statements regarding asteroids. Asteroids are rocky debris of varying size orbiting the sun. Okay. Most of the asteroids are small, but some have diameters as large and 1,000 kilometers. The orbit of asteroids lies between the orbits of Jupiter and Saturn. So out of Choose the correct statement out of the statements. Which of these statements are correct? Of these statements, which are correct? So it's an old pattern. Oh, Sachin says, हम सोकर उठे इसलिए कोई बात नहीं. Pro gaming. Oh, gamer. Which game do you play? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Which game do you play? Right. Now you see, the orbit of asteroids lies between the. See, why do you think that previous year questions are sometimes important? This kind of template, maybe it has lost its relevance now, but the learnings. In other words, the same question is repeated in another statement. If you have avoided the statement 3, automatically you are getting the answer as C as 1 and 2. So that is the idea, right? See, sometimes even previous year questions can help us in terms of, see, how does previous year questions help us? They help in 3-4 ways. One method, if we are very lucky, we are the luckiest person, the question would be repeated. Otherwise, you will come to know the template. Otherwise, it will be used for revision. Otherwise, you come to know the core areas of UPSC. Core areas of UPSC from that particular subject. In whatever way, ultimately we are not losing anything. And honestly speaking, if you see the relevance of the questions out of solar system, what the questions which we are discussing today, the relevance is a slightly on a lesser note when compared with relevance with the conceptual understanding. You'll get to know. Let me see the questions, then you'll get to know. Then you see, as I told you, what are asteroids and what is the difference between asteroids and comets? Asteroids are small, inactive rocky body orbiting the sun, whereas meteoroids, they need not be orbiting the sun, or they might not have a consistency in their orbit. They can flow in between as well. That is the major difference. Then you can see that some of the asteroids can be called minor planets of the inner solar system. There are millions of asteroids which are in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. And recently, you focus on, can you tell me about what are the recent missions with respect to study of asteroids? This is an important aspect of science and technology, no? So what happened? The same topic, we are now studying from them rather than what are they, what are the studies which were recently conducted and what outcomes we have got out of that. So we have shifted to that template. That is the reason why the questions out of geomorphology, especially of this segment called solar system, has shifted towards science and technology, the current affairs part. So that is the learnings you will get to know. This is what I mean here, the template. Then what is a comet? Comets are nothing but gaseous things where you will find something like a tail-like structure, where when it comes nearer to the sun, because of the heat, they will be losing that. That's why they are called as comets, right? Or they are having a taily structure. Why do they have the tail-like structure? When the comets, because they are formed out of gases, come nearer to a come nearer to a very hot surface like sun, or under that influence, they will start having a tail-like structure. So that is the thing. So comets are relatively small, at times active object. Their eyes can vaporize in sunlight, forming an atmosphere of dust and gas, sometimes a tail of dust or gas. So comets are made out of tail out of dust and gas, and that they will be shifting in that way. So that is the idea of comets and the asteroids. Okay, right? Have you understood this? Shall we move forward to the next point now? Right. Now try to answer this. Shivani, Sachin, Pro Gaming, Gayatri, try to answer this. Which one of the following planets has largest number of natural satellites or more? Is it C or is it A? Jupiter or Saturn? See, if you go by UPSC, when UPSC has asked this question, say it's already been more than 10 years, such kind of questions been asked. When they have asked, the right answer is Jupiter. Now it is Saturn. So science has upgraded, right? The knowledge has upgraded. It is now Saturn, not Jupiter. Not Jupiter. I have given such kind of things. Let me show you this. Oh, okay. It is Saturn. Saturn has almost around 140, 150 moons. 140, 150 moons. Jupiter has around 80 moons. That is the difference. Right. Can you name some other moons of some major moons? Can you name them? Ganymede is one. Ganymede is one. Ganymede is one. Ganymede is one major moon. Right. Let's move forward. Now try to answer this. What is the average distance approximate between the sun and the earth? What is the average distance approximate between the sun and the earth? Think about this. Okay. I see that many of you are thinking Jupiter is the answer. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's about Saturn. Now, you go with the NASA website. Whatever NASA says, I would consider that as an appropriate one. And accordingly, you will go that answer. Yes. With this, what is the average distance? When you talk about the average between the sun and the earth, it is around 150 million kilometers. So you can talk about 150 into the 10 to the power of 6. What is this? This 10 to the power of 6. Maybe I didn't get the right template here. This is the answer, 150. Now, what is the shortest distance and what is the longest distance? What are the days we call it as? What are the days we call it as? Longest distance and shortest distance. Do you remember this word? The average distance, aphelion, perihelion. The shortest distance. If you see on an average, I would remember somewhere it is around 149 million. This would be the farthest would be 151 and the shortest would be around 147. This is the rough template, aphelion and the perihelion. Which is the shortest one? Aphelion is the longest, perihelion is the shortest. This happens in January, this happens in July because of the elliptical nature of the orbit. Elliptical nature of the orbit, this happens in July, the longest, and the nearest happens in June. So let me move forward now. Next question. Right. So an astronomical union, what is this? An astronomical unit, right? It is the average distance between Earth and the Sun, about 150 million kilometers. This is the point of astronomical union. Then you see the next question. See, the number of questions are quite high. Sachin, 21st June, 22nd December, those are solstices, not aphelion, perihelion. Those are longest day, shortest day. Those are longest day and shortest day. Those are solstices. Yesterday, March and September, those are equinoxes. The ones we talked about is aphelion and perihelion. Right? If you are confusing, let me show you one thing then. Just a minute. Please remember these dates. You should not be confusing with such kind of basic errors. You should never miss such kind of things. 21st March, 23rd September, equinoxes. 21st June, 21st December or 22nd, 23rd December, whatever they say. So here around this is line of solstices. This is the line of solstices. Then January perihelion, shortest one, and longest is aphelion, 3rd July. So please remember this, don't confuse. Sachin, okay? Don't confuse this thing. This is a very basic thing. You should not be doing such kind of errors in the exam. Such kind of errors, you should not be doing it, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. July, January, perihelion, aphelion. September, March, equinoxes. Solstices are June, December, right? Okay, कोई बात नहीं. You have been confused with your the language. That's fine. Fair enough. Next one. This is a very easy question again. I don't see people doing any mistake once again on this question as well. Now that's the reason why all these questions, the problem with this is until 2013, 2014, the number of questions out of geomorphology were more concentrated on solar system. That's where the number happens to be quite high. Right. So among the following, which planet takes maximum time for one revolution around the sun? One revolution around the sun. Maximum time? It's very easy. The more it is far away, the more it is the maximum time. Which is the farthest one? It is the Jupiter. So just for understanding, which take maximum time for one revolution around the sun, it is Jupiter. You see, Mercury takes around 88 Earth days, Venus 225 Earth days, Earth 365, we all know this. Mars 687 when you talk from the Earth days, Jupiter 4331, Saturn 10,747, Uranus 30,589, 50,000, almost 60,000 is Neptune. Right. So it is about the Jupiter. So that is the thing. So let's move forward. Now you see, until now whatever the questions are there, they are mostly associated with the approach of what? They are mostly associated with the questions of solar system. The relevance in the present era might be slightly less. You can shift towards science and technology and current affairs of this segment, but you never know when UPSC can come back. And these are all very simple basic things which you learn as part of childhood. Let's revise now and need not forget about, and you can understand, and in the exam we hope that a question which is easier for us can be asked. Now answer this question. This is also very easy. Yes, Rakesh, Shivani, Sumant, Sachin, Gayatri. This is a very, very easy question, no? Yes, it is C. In the structure of planet Earth, below the mantle, the core is mainly made up of which of the following? Iron. We all know, no, the order. Sial, Sima, knife. Nickel and ferrous, iron. Core. Silicon and aluminium. Continental crust. Oceanic crust, silicon and magnesium, as well as mantle. So you know this. So it should be the iron content. Very, very easy. Now this is the ideas, and Basically, these kind of questions were the fundamental things of geomorphology. That's where they're trying to ask is, and the siren is the responsible for the magnetic field of the earth. Magnetic field of earth. And what is the, and if you wanted to know about further things about this, about the planet earth, the divisions, what is the boundary layer between the crust and the mantle? The crust and the mantle. Yes, Aarti, Purushottam, Shivani, Sachin, Gayatri. What is the difference between crust, the boundary of crust and mantle? Can you answer? No? Forgot. Gutenberg, Mohorovic, crust and the mantle, Mohorovic, Moho discontinuity. It is Mohorovic. Mantle and core, Gutenberg. These are very important. So, the divisions where the interior of the earth are divided, you have to understand. Then what is the source of understanding the interior of the earth? What is the major source which you have tried to understood, which helped us in understanding the interior of the earth? What is the major source? Can you answer? The major source which helped us in understanding about the interior of the earth is the seismic waves. Seismic waves. It is the seismic waves. Right. So next, try to answer this. Yes. Try to answer this. Come on, quickly. Now you see, the Richter scale is a logarithm scale, and so an increase of magnitude unit represents a factor of 10 times in amplitude. Yes, each integer reading of the Richter scale has an energy of 100 times than the previous integer reading. This is wrong. The answer is A, 1 only. Let me explain this. When you talk about this Richter scale is a magnitude scale explaining the scale of numbers used to tell the energy released of the earthquakes. So Richter scale tells about the energy. Intensity impact, how much is the actual destruction, is about the Mercalli scale. Please understand the difference. And how do Richter scale works? The magnitude is expressed in absolute numbers from 1 to 10. Each whole number increase in Richter scale represents a 10 times increase in power of an earthquake, not the 100, 10 times Richter scale, because it is a 10 logarithm scale, meaning that each order of magnitude is 10 times more intensity than the last one. And in other words, a 2 is 10 times more intense than a 1, and a 3 is 100 times greater than the first one. So that's how, if from the each one, it will keep on piling up. So that is the thing. Okay, each integer reading has an energy of 10 times. That is the idea. See, look at how they ask it. And this is a template where UPSC regularly asks about this. For example, when GST as a topic has come up, they asked how it will have an impact on our economy. It will be having a 10 times, 1000 times, 100 times. They will try to ask it. So they have asked it a question. So if you have understood the template, what is the impact of a certain thing, you can easily, UPSC will frame such kind of questions. For example, recently we have the red crisis dilemma. You have the alternative routes which were proposed, whether the international north-south transport corridor or India, Middle East, Europe corridor, or else all the corridor from Russia via the northern seas, right, is around the Arctic Ocean, via Bering Strait between America and Russia, and then towards the East China Sea, Yellow Sea, the South China Sea, and then into the Indian Ocean, whatever these order are, what they'll ask you is, they'll ask you, this route will significantly reduce to that extent that in the past, if you are going by 10 hours, now it will take 1 hour. Definitely it will reduce to, or the fuel efficiency will be reduced by 10 times, 100 times, 1000 times, they will be trying to ask. So this is a template where UPSC is asked like n number of times in different concepts. They're all asking about the concept. Please understand, if you are really saying that 100 times is the energy, how much energy will be having an impact on the earthquakes, you will get to know. That is how they are trying to test you. Right. So as you have seen, extent of damage is the Mercalli intensity, and a Richter scale give you a rough idea of the actual impact of an earthquake. Keeping this, I have divided that and I have shown you some basic ideas of Richter scale and Mercalli square. Mercalli scale, effects caused by an earthquake. So remember this, Mercalli talks about the effects, the direct impact, the destruction, the loss of the buildings. Richter scale, energy released by an earthquake. Energy released is the Richter scale. This is by observation, this is by seismograph. Quantified from observation of the effects of the earth's surface, human objects and man-made. This is a logarithm scale, right? So this is also left. From how much you fell to maximum destruction to 12. Varies depending on distance from epicenter. Varies at distances from the epicenter, but one value is given for the earthquake as a whole. So you need not differentiate further, just understand Mercalli scale is about an intensity scale which talks about the actual destruction. That is what I want you to remember. The effects of an earthquake, which is actual destruction, extent of damage is Mercalli intensity scale, and the actual energy, the energy released is the Richter scale. That's what I want you to focus upon. Right. Answer this question. This is a very interesting question. Now this is where your geographical knowledge, your knowledge about plate tectonics can be asked. Let's see. Volcanic eruptions do not occur in. Can you answer? Gayatri, Shivani, Sachin, Aarti, Purushottam, Rakesh, Sumant. Can you answer this? This is a very interesting question. Yes, volcanic eruptions do not occur in. You see, Caribbean Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, all these are part of the plate boundaries. Baltic Sea is not a plate boundary. So only at the plate boundaries you will find more dominant volcanic eruptions, no? So this is the answer. Here you will find earthquake, here you will find the volcanoes, or Caribbean Sea, volcanoes, they are named for the volcanoes, Caribbean Sea. Caspian Sea, you do find some kind of volcanoes. Let me see the picture here. If you talk about this is the Baltic Sea. This is the Baltic Sea. Okay. This is the Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and the Caribbean Sea. And superimpose this in the next slide where you are finding the plate boundary movements. If you talk about the plates, you can see here, this is the Caribbean Sea, this is where you will find the plates. You can see here the plate moving all across the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea. Definitely not in the plate of the Baltic. So you can see here, this is the Baltic Sea. You can see here there is no kind of a plate boundary. That is the thing. So Baltic is the answer. A very interesting question is this. So that's, hope you all have studied this, understood, right? Acha, one thing I would like to ask you, Shivani, Gayatri, Sachin, Aarti, Purushottam, Rakesh, all of you. What more do you want in geography? What do you want in the upcoming sessions? What kind of topics do you want me to cover for the prelims which is about to come? If you want, please let me know about such things. I have more than happy to answer it. Okay, and you can drop it in the comment section here, or you can drop into the Telegram channel of my own my channel, and you can always ask me what more you want, and you can always interact with me with your regarding your preparation. So that is about this UPSC previous year questions of geomorphology. There are some more questions of geomorphology which we'll discuss in the next week. So 2 weeks I have kept it for geomorphology. With that, geomorphology questions would be completed. So that's it for today. Hope you all have understood this. Any further doubts, you can always ask me. Please don't hesitate. And also celebrate the Holi well. Happy Holi, all of you. Enjoy it and do about enjoy it, enjoy the Holi, replenish your soul, and come back with rigor where you can prepare very well again. Thank you. Yes, Danish, mapping questions. Yes, I'm already done about mapping series. You can check in the YouTube channel. We'll try to see some map based questions as well. Right then. Thank you, all of you.